What's up, guys? Mr. T here, presenting the Stanley Parable. Basically, since I played Dear Esther, this seemed like the next logical step. I heard about this because apparently they're making an HD remake that is currently on Steam Greenlight, and figured, why the crap not? I'm not gonna click
This is
skip.
the story of a man named Stanley.
Tell us about
Stanley worked
Stanley.
for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Sounds fun.
Orders came to him through a monitor next to his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them,
How
and in
long to
what
push
order.
them?
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley...
That's pretty foreshadowing. I think he's a robot. Made for this job.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on a monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
Wow,
Never in all his years at
rude.
the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and walked out into the hallway.
Hey, so I'm playing. Alright, one sec. I'm actually going to make sure things are recording right, because I have problems with that lately for some reason. Everything appears to be running cool, so let's book it on out of here.
Stanley
Whoa.
decided to go to the staff lounge to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Why is it the numbers are only on the left side?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yo, I heard it click like it was gonna talk again. Am I supposed to... It said to go to the left. Alright. Oh my gosh. This is sketchy as crap. Hey, look, a vent machine thing? Okay.
As Stanley entered the lounge, he was horrified to find not a single person here. He decided he would walk up to see his boss, hoping that he would find an answer there.
Well, I mean, that's a logical assumption. Yo, can I get some water? Okay, whatever. This is a very clear Half-Life 2 mod. Like, Stanley is clearly one of the City 17
Coming to a
residents.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, downstairs is bad, generally. Is that a head crab on his... No, okay.
Entering his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. It was at this point that he began to feel dizzy and a little sick, and even thought he might pass out when suddenly he noticed a keypad next to the filing cabinet in the corner of his boss's office. Stanley had never seen this panel before and had no idea what combination of numbers would produce any result. In fact, only Stanley's boss knew this, since the panel withheld access to the boss's greatest, darkest secret.
Oh my god.
And so he had assigned the keypad a combination that only he could possibly know. The number of his freshman dorm number in college. 1957. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I can't hit the buttons. How do I buttons?
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. Stanley ventured forth
I
into the
immediately
newly
regret
opened
this
passageway.
decision. I wish I hadn't gone down here. I'm super sketched out right now. Oh my god.
As
I
he drew
immediately
deeper
regret that
into the
decision.
bowels of the building, Stanley had no idea where he was or what this place held. And just as he began to think he might not discover a thing, he emerged into a long room to find rows and rows of monitors. Screens with a number above
There's
it.
mine. I'm 427,
Stanley
right?
noticed, however, that these were not random numbers, but the number of employees who worked in the building, his co-workers. Even his own number, 427,
I knew it.
had
I
place
have a
on
good
the wall.
memory.
But why a setup so elaborate, he asked.
It's italics.
Was this simple surveillance, or something even more? And as if in answer to his question, the wall slid open before him, revealing the ultimate truth of the situation.
Yo, I immediately
An
regret
enormous
this
control
decision.
panel Stanley discovered, but not one that controlled simple machinery.
This is a combine control
Buttons
panel.
were labeled with emotions. Happy, sad. Levers and knobs controlled actions. Walking, eating, doing work, or watching TV.
What?
Every input on this device monitored not the functions of a machine, but of a human being. And the reality began to sink in. Stanley, like so many other people, reduced to images on a monitor, had been under someone's control, always at the mercy of this machine. Could this have been the only reason employee number 427 was content with his boring job? That a machine had altered his emotions to accept it blindly? He began to feel an unbridled rage, and at the peak of his anger,
What's gonna happen? What's gonna
something
happen?
happened. A spark. Stanley looked up and saw the generator
Oh,
overhead, still
okay.
providing some small amount of power to the machine, keeping it alive. And knowing that this generator was all that kept the controls running, Stanley moved to the ladder in the back of the room and began to climb towards the rafters.
I guess I don't see any other options. I mean, I forgot how you book it up ladders in the Source engine. God.
The higher
Whoa.
Stanley climbed, the closer he felt to freedom, the further from enslavement.
Rise up. This is awesome, awesome. This is awesome, awesome. This is awesome. Feel like I'm rising out of the pit. Disable generator, engage generator. This game is all about weird choices. I could engage the generator and always be happy. But would I be happy knowing that I flipped a switch to make me happy? Or I could disable the generator and have freedom, liberty, and the American dream. Give me that freedom. Where's my freedom?
Blackness, power gone,
Darn.
all alone.
Dang.
And then
Yo, who is it? I don't want anything with you. I know Kung Fu. Oh, that's what I was supposed to be looking for. Okay.
as he stepped through the door into the fresh outside air, a feeling of liberation rushed through Stanley's body. He had seen power, he had seen enslavement, and he had destroyed it. The underling was in control now. He had found his leading role.
Well, that's good for him, you know. For American
Stanley never
liberty.
discovered why everyone had gone missing, nor how and when he had come under the machine's control. But it didn't upset him terribly, because he knew that this was how things were meant to happen. All he felt was a delight unlike any he had ever known before. Never again would he follow someone else's orders without question. Never again would anyone tell Stanley where to go, what to do, or how to
Unless he
feel.
was told to do
No
all
more
this
bosses.
by me.
No more instructions on a screen. Stanley decides for himself now.
But I decided for Stanley.
And he stepped out
Exactly.
into the world, and he felt the cool breeze upon his skin, and Stanley was happy.
Good for Stanley. That's just brilliant. So I beat the game. I won. I did it. Thank you, Davy Redden. Thank you, Kevin Brighting. You have an amazing voice. Let me tell you that right now. I will write a letter to you. I will write a letter saying, you... Wait, here, let me take out my pen real quick. A piece of paper. You have an amazing voice. Alright, I'm gonna send that to what's his face. I'm gonna just check the recording, see his face again. And I'm gonna 6 ghosts, 1. What? Russian translation? Russian translation. Alright, I'm gonna ship that letter to that guy, and we're done here. I mean, that's all I had to say. Clearly, I mean, thank you for playing this video game. I mean, it is a video game. It's not just a indie short film registered as a game. I think that I am going to have to try this again and go for a different ending in the next video.